Welcome to the Long Room, Joel and Chrissy. I'm Joel.
And I'm
And
Christine.
what are we doing today?
Actually, we are doing our first ever interview for our podcast playlist on the Our Debt Free Journey podcast.
All right. Thank you for all you who listen to our podcast. And we're excited today because, like she said, this is our first ever interview on our podcast. And I think we really got a great guest today, don't you?
Very.
Absolutely. All right. So we're going to go ahead and bring her on. And it is Dawn from Sensible Living with Money Mom. There she is.
Everybody, thank
Hey,
you.
Dawn, how you doing?
I'm doing great, and I want to say thank you so much for having me. I love your subscribers. There's so many wonderful, positive, growth-minded people. I read many of your comments on your channels, and there's a lot of excellent comments. So thank you, everyone, for being here.
Yeah, we do have a great community, and we actually did a live stream this morning on Frugal Tips, and just had a great time with people commenting in the comments and chat in the chats, and just really a good time. So yeah, we really have some really good community there.
Yep.
But we do have a few questions for you. We're not going to take up a lot of your time. We know we like to keep these podcasts probably about 15 minutes or less, and so we got a few questions we want to ask you. But the first one is this: how did you get into frugality? And did you have an aha moment that kind of moved you in that direction?
Well, I know YouTube's been around a while, but I didn't know about YouTube when it first came out.
Okay.
And then some friends told me about it, and I started searching up ways to save money because I've always loved to be creative. But back then, saving money was more about shopping and getting the best deals. It wasn't about buying less. It was about getting the best deal you possibly could in all areas. So I was a huge garage sale, thrift store person, and I was also a big clearance person, couponer, all of that. So it kind of started out slow with more kind of hauls and shopping, but the trends have been changing a little bit away from those areas.
Okay.
So I started out doing that, and it's been actually, I've only been watching YouTube about 10 years.
Right.
So that's kind of what I started watching, was things like that, like how to get the best deals.
Yeah.
And that's what started it.
Okay. Excellent. And I know you kind of moved into in the early times. You kind of moved into extreme couponing. We've watched those shows, those extreme couponing shows. Tell us what it is, what it motivated you to go that route, and what did you learn from that season of your life?
Oh my gosh, that was such a fun season. Now, I didn't go as extreme where I had such a stockpile that I wasted. Like I've seen ones where they have like 500 cake mixes and things like that. I didn't do that. Because I didn't spend tons of money on papers, or I didn't have access to those. Okay. But back then, you had the Care Bucks with CVS, you had, Walgreens, where you had the rebate book. I mean, there were so many free things. And back then, many of the grocery stores doubled and tripled coupons.
Right.
So let's say you had cereal on sale for $2. Or you had cereal on sale for $1.50, and then you had a coupon that was 50 cents, and it would double, and it would give you $1 off, and you end up getting a box of cereal for like 49, 50 cents. There were times that I basically walked away where sometimes they even paid me.
Yeah.
Seriously, for 3 or 4 years, I didn't even have to buy any personal care products.
Wow.
I think I only spent and I'm trying to think. This was around 2003 to 2008, something like that. And I literally think I spent only a few $100 a month on groceries.
Wow.
I saved about 65 to 70% because I would buy all the great deals.
Sure.
And then I even had a coupon meeting at my house where we would come and exchange coupons. And then every now and then we would bring our stockpiles of stuff and share with each other. We also donated with other people and things like that. So we shared what we had. But I mean, to me, it's a great time when you get a great deal. But you want to know how I've saved money since the pandemic?
Yeah.
There are not as many good deals to be had.
Okay.
And so I'm not that insane. You see, what would get me is what I call FOMO, fear of missing out.
Sure.
People like, Dawn, cereal's like 50 cents a box. You got to go get it. And I'd be like, oh my gosh, Al, we got to go here, blah, blah, blah. Or shampoo's 25 cents if you bring your coupon book, and then you're going to get a gift card back. Well, I couldn't wait to do that. They don't have those deals anymore. So guess what? I guess I don't need those things that bad, and it keeps me home.
Right.
So I miss the days of extreme couponing on
Sure.
one hand, but on the other hand, you know what? I can't possibly use that much stuff. So the best
Right.
thing is to buy what you need.
Yep.
And if you do buy a lot, make sure to donate it to a worthy cause.
Wow, that's awesome.
Sorry, that was a long answer.
Oh no, that's great.
Hopefully none of your hopefully your subscribers are still here or not sleeping.
Oh yeah, no, yeah, I seriously doubt that. Now, after your time in extreme couponing, you moved over to what you now call mindful shopping. What motivated you? Kind of define that for us, and then tell us what moved you in that direction.
Okay, well, I actually just recently moved to that direction,
Yeah.
but I will say this, what started me off was I wanted to be debt free, paying off our house. I was always told debt is normal. No, I never had the
Sure.
credit card debt.
Yeah.
Well, except for when I was really young. But I always did 12 months no interest type things.
Yep.
I never had more than 5,000 in our savings, and I thought that was enough. And I always had a car payment and always had a house payment, and I thought that was normal. And I
Yep.
thought, I'd love to just get rid of those and not have anything and be able to live a debt-free lifestyle. You saw it all over there. Everybody was living debt-free, and I thought that would be really wonderful,
Sure.
to be able to keep my expenses low. So if something came up, then we'd hopefully be able to manage it,
Yeah.
but if you've got $4,000 going out of your house every month and you lose a job where you're making say 6,000 and the next job you have you're only making 3,000,
Yeah.
you're going to have to do something drastic quick.
Absolutely.
So I went from wanting to live debt free. I recently did mindful shopping because I still had the mindset that, oh, I want to get a great deal. I want to get a great deal. Then my daughter and I started decluttering a certain area each week. And I saw how much abundance I have and how much stuff I wasn't using.
Mm-hmm.
And so I thought, you know what? Let's buy what I really want and really need and use it up. Less waste, to try to go as zero waste as I can on everything I have and really just enjoy what I already have at home and put a lot of thought before I buy things.
Sure. Absolutely.
So that's kind of the direction I'm going. And I
Yeah.
noticed a lot of people our age, because I think we're all in our 50s. I'm 58. Okay, you guys are 39 and holding.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
But
Sure.
We're in our 50s.
yeah, so I thought, I would love, I just thought I want to really be grateful for what I have
Yep.
and use it and not waste.
Sure.
And the thing is, think about this. We have frugal channels. There's nothing wrong with, hey, I got great deals somewhere, I want to show everybody.
Right.
There's nothing wrong with haul videos. All of that's fabulous.
Yep.
As long as you use what you have.
Right.
Mhm.
Absolutely.
But if I'm buying all this stuff and I'm not using it and I'm wasting it, or it's sitting in a closet,
Mhm.
like I've gone through phases like the essential oil phase.
Mhm.
I barely used any of it, right?
Right.
I mean, I've gone through little things like that. I went through a crafting phase. I'm terrible at crafts. Didn't even use this stuff. Believe me, one of my friends, I went to a bowl making class. One of my friends told me, Dawn, I love you, but it's so bad I can't even fix it. So that tells you crafts are not for me.
Wow.
But I'll go through phases where I'll buy something
Sure.
and a bunch of stuff. It could be a coloring phase. It doesn't matter what it is. And then I lose interest and then I have all the stuff for it. Does that make
Yeah.
sense?
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
I'm really not buying a lot these days.
Yeah.
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 That's
We find
how I
ourselves
feel.
in kind of that stage of life as well. After 13 moves, we've
Wait, 13 moves since you've been married?
yeah.
Well,
Well, probably that. Well, maybe more than that. I don't know. If you count between different places, but yeah, it's been a lot.
You
And,
really
it's
like
been-
Florida though, don't you?
Yeah, we
Love
do.
Florida,
I don't. Yeah, we don't. I don't plan to move. I don't plan to move again. But
I mean, well, we may move out of this
yeah,
apartment
right.
to a house
Yeah.
one day,
But we don't
not
really plan to move out of Florida. So
Right.
yeah. So
But
we
I
do
just
that.
thought of something. I know we need to go back to the
Yeah, go
question,
ahead.
but now does your channel know where you work?
Yeah. I wear shirts all the time.
yeah.
We reference it all the time.
Well, guess what? I have one walking distance from my house. Unless you come move down here, you guys could be my next door neighbor.
Nice.
Christy, would we get any work done?
I don't know. We'd see a lot of us doing stuff together, and that's what.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
All right. So tell us a little bit of how you got your start on YouTube.
Well, I started watching YouTube, and there's so many fabulous channels
Yeah.
out there that I want to share. Everybody brings value in a different way,
Sure.
and I always love to be positive and encourage others. I started watching, and a couple of them that I've watched and are people that are not even around anymore. One of my favorite channels I loved was Blissful and Domestic, and I
Okay.
really wish you would come back to YouTube.
Yeah.
But sometimes there's everything's for a season in life.
Sure.
I started
Absolutely.
watching Budget Girl's journey, and that was so inspiring because she was paying off student loan debt, and
Right.
she would put the debt in the subject line. And every week and every month, you would see that debt go down.
Mm.
We
Right.
got to watch her debt free scream. That was exciting. I actually even got to meet her once.
Okay.
Lovely lady. I've
Wow.
actually met several YouTubers. Some of them are not on YouTube anymore, but just some of these folks are wonderful. So
Yeah.
I started watching people about living a debt-free lifestyle, how to budget, and I was frugal in many ways, okay? Like I always was good about paying my bills. I always tried to set aside some money, but my goal is to keep improving along the way. So I
Right.
started watching other inspiring frugal channels, and
Okay.
that's how I learned.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely. How did you, and this is not in the script, it's kind of all scripted. How did you come up with your name?
You know what? My husband helped me with it. Now,
Okay.
at that time, I couldn't just do Money Mom because I think there was somebody with that name,
Gotcha.
but I thought it was kind of a clever name. They just call me Money Mom,
Yeah.
but it's sensible living with Money Mom because
Right.
it's all about sensible living. And I
Yep.
forgot to answer your question you just asked. I saw all these channels and I loved it. And then I thought, I think I have things to share because, I may not be perfect and I'm not as frugal as all the other channels. Like, I'm not extreme frugality and
Right.
everybody knows that.
Right.
But I'm very, I'm very open and honest. And there are a lot of ways that I have saved money over the years. And we're consumer and mortgage debt free. And so I thought I have things that I can share
Sure.
about how to make extra money, how to save extra money. And I have little sensible things that I've done along the way.
Okay.
And I thought I could share that. And my goal is for most of my videos to be 5 minutes or less. And a
Yeah.
lot of my subscribers like that.
Yeah, you're really good with that. Yeah.
I mean, I try to. I know I talk fast, not all, but at least I post once a day
Mhm.
generally. But I want to keep most of my videos. I'm going to say at least if I did 30 videos a month, I want to at least keep 25 of them 5 minutes or less.
Right.
Mhm.
Okay. Excellent.
I think you call yourself moderate frugal.
Yes.
Yeah. And I like that terminology because that is kind of where we fall too. We're
Yeah.
not extreme, but we do make some choices that are considered frugal. So
Yes,
I
exactly.
love
Yeah,
that
but you guys, I noticed one thing with you guys. You enjoy spending more of your money, and this is a lot of frugal people do. You guys spend more of your money on experiences.
Right.
Mhm.
Yep.
Yep, we do.
That's true. Yeah, we do.
And I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. We've decided it's just, the older we get, the more stuff we want to see. And
Yeah.
we know we only have a finite amount of time to do that. And so, we don't want to get to the end of our lives and say, we missed something we really wanted to see. So,
Yep.
yeah, so we've got some stuff planned for next year, hopefully. And well, for this year too, but for next year as well, we got some exciting stuff planned as far as trips go. So
hopefully.
Yeah,
Still
It'll
still-
work
still-
out. You know what? I just want to say, I don't know where you're going, and maybe you don't know everything yet. You don't know your itinerary, but
Yeah.
I wish you the best, and I hope you have fun.
Thanks,
Thank
Don.
you. Well, I'll just say that we have, running is very important to him, and we have been able to combine that experience with him running, which it will be in that vein of him running somewhere.
I do have a question about running for Joel
Yeah.
because I am curious on this because I know you've lived in all different places.
Yep.
And you probably have run in all different temperatures, I'm
Yep.
assuming.
Yeah.
What's easier, to run in extreme heat or extreme cold?
Oh, wow. I get that question a lot.
Oh, you do?
Yeah. People want to know that. And so,
Maybe they both stink.
well, yeah, they're both not fun. However, I think I prefer the heat.
Okay.
The cold, I don't do well with cold. So I'd rather not have to wake up at, and go out in 30-degree or lower weather to do a run. I'd probably just stay in. But if I can layer down enough to where I'm still decent, I can run without a shirt on, just my running shorts and my shoes. But it's hard for me to really run when I've run in the snow before, but I just can't. I just don't want to do that.
You
So
got
for
it.
me, I would rather
You
go
don't
in
want
the
to
heat.
slip either. You know what I
No.
mean? If
Yeah.
there's ice.
Yeah.
But
So
you don't
I'm
mind
used,
if it's 100 degrees, huh?
No, I don't. It's a struggle. I try to do most of my runs early in the morning, so it's usually
Before the sun
before the sun really gets up. But most of the time I'm ending my long runs when the sun's up anyway. So it's usually probably 80 in the middle of the summer. It's 80, 85, 90. Probably with heat index in the upper 90s when I finish. So it's
Yeah.
just but I prefer the warmer weather as opposed to the cold weather.
Okay.
Yeah.
When we lived in Tennessee, he had a treadmill, so he didn't have to run outside.
Yeah.
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 Is Tennessee the coldest place you would run?
Yes.
That he has.
Yeah. It would
I'm
get
from
down to
Minnesota. I would love to transfer you to one of the stores there.
yeah.
There'd be like 3 months out of the year that you're going,
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, now like in the winter,
It would get down
to us.
in the 20s and teens and snow.
Right.
So I bought a treadmill so I didn't have to get out into the really, really cold weather. So
That's probably not that cold.
yeah. All right, Don, I got one more question for you as we kind of end up our chat today.
okay.
Just give us a couple of frugal tips. There may be some of our viewers out there that are kind of curious about the frugal lifestyle. What are a couple of tips that you would give somebody if they're wanting to start a frugal journey today?
Well, I'm going to give one because I think this is encouraging.
Okay.
To not get overwhelmed. And even Amy Decision from the Tightwad Gazette says this. Many of you guys know about the Tightwad Gazette. She said, hey, you don't have to do everything all at once.
Okay.
You just start off slow. And I'm just going to give you an example. So let's say somebody is like, oh my gosh, there's a family of 4. We spend $800 a month on groceries. I'm going to lower it to $300. I wouldn't do that. What I would do is lower it down to, it's just cut out $50.
Okay.
You know what? To go to $750. Start off slow and look for little, small, manageable ways. That's tip 1. Tip 2, always have a decluttering day so you can see what you have around the house.
Okay.
Tip 3, see if there's some extra ways that you can make money. But with that, see if it's taking much time and resources to figure out how much you're actually making, to see if it's worth your time and effort doing that side hustle. Sometimes making extra money can end up costing you money. So be cautious of the side hustle. That would be something else. So those are just some tips off the top of my head.
Yeah, absolutely.
And reassess and reevaluate your budget. Look for ways that you can save and money. Ask yourself what's really important for you. Another thing, look over all of the things that you're using. For example, let's say that you enjoy different services, different auto ships of products. Ask yourself if you're getting value. So let's say you order from ABC Vitamin Company, and I'm not naming any companies, and you're like, I spend $75 on vitamins. And you're like, you know what? I'm not even taking these vitamins consistently.
Right.
That'd be one thing that could go.
Yeah.
Or, you know what? I belong to, Movies for Us, movies, what do you want to call service, and I can download movies and watch them. And you're noticing I'm not even using this service and I'm paying $16 a month, or you do a reading service, all of those things. What you don't value, cut that out first. But my biggest tip, move slow. And not to compare ourselves with others, because there's always going to be somebody that's going to be like, I'm much more frugal than you.
Absolutely.
Yes.
And, and my other thing is really automate your savings.
Sure.
Yeah. Gosh, sorry. I know I could go on with 1,000 more tips.
Yeah. maybe we'll do that. The next interview, maybe we'll do that. We'll say, these are done.
Hey, I'm sure you got a lot more. There's a lot of tips out there.
Yeah,
I'd like to hear from the viewers on some of their best tips.
Yeah, absolutely. Drop us some comments below and let us know what your favorite tips are. We always love to hear from our people in the comments. You always have some great comments. But Dawn, thank you for joining us today. It's been a pleasure talking to you. And we just appreciate your time, just appreciate your guidance and the things that you've helped us with along the way. So thank you so much for all that you are to the Frugal community. And I know there's a lot of people that can voice the same comments that we do as well. So let me speak for them and say thank you for all that you've done and all that you continue to do with your videos and helping us on our frugal journeys.
Well, would it be okay if I said one more thing?
Absolutely.
Well, and I know you guys would agree with me. I want to say thank you to the community because many of the people that watch your videos watch mine.
Yes.
They're taking their valuable time to choose to watch us.
Absolutely.
And they could be doing other things.
Yep.
And I always want to honor and respect the community because I feel like many of them go above and beyond with their kindness and recognition.
Absolutely.
So I want to thank them. And I also want to thank you because it was very kind that you selected me to interview. So I really appreciate it.
Thanks, Dawn. We sure do appreciate it.
Yes, absolutely.
Thanks everybody for watching us today and for listening. If you're listening on the podcast, thank you for listening today. We appreciate everybody who listens and comments and just a part of our great community. But that's going to do it today. For the long run, Joel and Chrissy. I'm Joel.
I'm Christy.
And that's Dawn.
Bye.
Don't forget it's the long run. Give yourself a little grace.